Hello. Shalom. I'm bored. I'm so bored.
Everyone around me wants to kill me.
I've been thinking about starting YouTube back up again for like a week and a half, but what do I do? How do I do it? What? Effectively made me do nothing. Other than I did make this tripod out of a dining room chair, a yoga mat, and a gorilla pod. So, could be better, but I mean, there's innovation happening here, and I think that's what we should be focusing on. All right, so let's have some light talk with my good friend here, Frederick the Yucca, new addition to the house, trying to brighten up the place. I think he's doing a wonderful job. The topic of discussion today is constraints. Today we'll be talking about constraints. Frederick, what do you know about constraints?
I'm stuck here and I cannot move.
Wise from someone who is truly
I can't move.
constrained in one spot. Frederick's right. Constraints are all about what you can't do, and that then can inform what you can do, because while in the world of creativity there are limitless possibilities, that's not always a good thing. So here's the idea, let me break it down. We already have strong constraints, i.e. the coronavirus, but we don't have creative briefs. So, every single episode that I make, there are going to be 26 of them, will feature a creative brief. The creative brief will consist of 3 words, a noun, an adjective, and the other word that is in speech, which we call a verb. Slow brain. Okay. They will all share the same first letter. So for the very first one, you guessed it, we're going to use the letter A. I will randomly generate a noun, an adjective, and a verb, and use those 3 to inform what I make. Okay, so rather than me trying to explain this, we're just going to pick the first 3 words now. So one word, start with a noun, first letter to be A. Okay, anxiety. Number 1. Seems serendipitous. Adjective. Animated. And verb. Alter. Anxiety, animated, alter. Okay, well those are the 3 words. That's the brief, and back to the show. Take these 3 words, let them inspire you in any which way you seem fit, and then just make. Just make. Don't think about it. Don't get caught up in it. Just make. If you are sitting at home with your creative talents and abilities sitting idly by, wasting away, hop on board. Let's do this creative challenge together. Let's see what we make, and let's see where it goes. Every new episode, I will share what I made. I'm gonna put all of this below. I will show what I did, like at the beginning of this episode with the butterfly and the arahuda. That could be a good example of what these briefs could result in. I will take a brief moment to break down what I did and how I did it and what software I used, so that if you're wanting to try and employ the same tactics, you can. So without further ado, I'm gonna quickly break down this butterfly scene, and I'm gonna try and do it in 60 seconds or less, because I know it's mostly nerdy, geeky, boring shit. But I love it. Well, hello again. Okay, so for the interest of time, we're really gonna fly through this, but essentially I broke out my ideas on a little piece of paper. This is my storyboard for the butterfly scene. You can see the different angles are built out there, just like a normal storyboard. I shot it, and then I hopped into Premiere to start building it, and Premiere is right here. Okay, so you can see the scene. You can see each one of these pink compositions is a different angle, and then obviously audio is at the bottom, and there's a small adjustment layer at the top. Okay, each one of these, once it was laid out the way that I wanted it to be laid out, was then opened up in After Effects. And After Effects is where obviously the animation and everything happened. So every butterfly that's in this little animated piece is stock footage that I use a stock footage library who doesn't sponsor me or my videos, so I won't say who. But that's all that's on here. There's no Cinema 4D, there's no 3D modeling going on. It's just pure old, nice, pretty green screen butterfly footage that I am keyframing and animating around. So as you can see, this is the butterfly that flies and lands, I think, by my shoulder at the end. It's actually blue in this composition, but it's pretty easy to go in and change it to yellow, which actually stood out better against the blue background. So in the wide angle, there's just some scenes of the butterfly flying around. One thing that took a minute to figure out was the reflection against the window and how to make that look realistic. Less is almost always more in these situations. And I think this is the scene. You can see there's the butterfly landing by my shoulder. And for the most part, he's just being keyframed to sort of fly around with a little bit of scale in 3D in order to have some depth to the scene. Once each one of these scenes had its small little moment of animation put into it, a few little touches like on this side shot, when the butterfly flies by, you'll see small shadow tracking across the back wall. Little things like that ended up changing the scene a lot and seemed to make it a lot more realistic. The shadows did a lot of that work for me. So, bada bing, bada boom, that's how we made it. Okay, so that's it. That's how that was made. That's the concept. This is the challenge. I'm gonna try and stick to it. If you're gonna challenge yourself to do it, don't do it half-assed. Do it all the way. Stick to it. Try and get it done. Let's see what we can do. I mean, we really don't have anything better left to do. Staying sharp matters, and keeping up with your abilities is very important. And what better way to do that than to just make anything you want? On behalf of Frederick and myself, thanks for listening, thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to see how many of you guys do this. I also can't wait to see how many of you guys unsubscribe from this channel. How do I close it out? On behalf of Frederick and I, thanks a lot for listening. I'm gonna work on my whole setup, maybe even get a real tripod. Haven't YouTube in a little while, but I'm really glad to be back and I can't wait to keep making videos, and see you soon.